Jack, do you feel that Nature Boy, they gave him like a life plus something? I don't know if he had multiple life sentences, but
I
do you
think
believe?
he has the right sentence.
Okay.
I just hate the fact that they put a bunch of bullshit on him to get him in the system. Get him for the shit that he actually did. But see, maybe part of the reason why that didn't happen is because the government would have to take responsibility for all of the shit that they knew he was doing that they let fucking happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like with Diddy. It's wild. All of the shit that
Yeah.
everybody knows about Diddy. And Nature Boy got that sentence. And Diddy got the man act. Two counts.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, damn.
Well, know what's funny? I'm still trying to figure out why nobody is in uproar at all about the fact that it was reported. You guys reported on it. All of the firearms that had serial numbers scratched off that were confiscated. But they just forgot about those. The whole world just forgot about those. We sat there and watched it on the news as they deployed on three specific residences that were all under his possession and under his control. It was stated that they found what? It was the feds that said that the baby oil had the G to the B to the G to the H to the B in it.
Yeah.
And
That
then you
wasn't brought
have
up.
content creators sitting around, more oil, more oil.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that happened. And then you also had the
Looking
lawsuits.
like baby dinosaurs coming fresh out the womb. I'm just trying to understand.
No, the
We
Diddy trial is gonna have to
saw,
get dissected.
we saw the footage, that Curtis Jackson was. I mean, did he really get it, or was it just the footage that the network got, that Netflix got?
Oh
They
yeah,
still
yeah.
not even talking. They still not even talking about that guy who was doing the filming that Diddy hired and the whoop de whoop de whoop. Mark Agnifilo isn't even being mentioned after the way he was exposed for misconduct in that documentary. No, he just went on to helping his wife represent Luigi Maggione, and people are acting like, we didn't see any of that. Like we didn't literally hear him telling the boys how to fix cases. We gonna act like none of that happened. That's what we doing? two
No,
years.
that's
And
yeah.
nobody
Even
believes that. The feds, firearms with serial numbers filed off. And no charges? No, no, nothing. So since when do the feds, do you know that the feds in Pennsylvania were working with the local cops and telling them if you catch a GUN case, don't bother prosecuting it. Send it to us because we can do the max. That's how they were getting little black boys in Philadelphia 10 years ago. Every GUN case went straight federal. They were doing the same for a little while too in New York. Diddy was tried in New York. Oh, why wasn't he? Why didn't he catch a charge for any of those GUNs? Because the truth is, if he had been charged with GUNs, they were found in his possession. He was guilty. He would have been guilty. That would have been at least 10 to 15 years. All depending on the amount and how much ammo was in it, because the ammo also kicks it up a notch.
Yeah.
He could have got 20 years just for the GUNs. Why wasn't he charged?
Maybe they're trying to go for the RICO, and you gotta have players involved. They had no players.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of players. Like Carisha said in her interview with Charlamagne, she wasn't worried about having to testify. She sat down and talked to the feds, and she wasn't worried about having to testify because 9 times out of 10, they told her, you keep your mouth shut and we won't bother you. You say anything. I don't think people are really looking at the reality. But right now, with the Epstein files and the whole debacle and the fallout of the cover up that they're trying to do in real time in everybody's face, I think people need to start paying attention. I think people need to stop being in their feelings and look a little closer. Forget the doped up baby oil. They actually found that nigga with Tipsy on him. They arrested the mule, the little white boy. They found Carisha with the happy pink pixie dust, and you telling me nobody caught a DURGS case? Nobody?
No one.
How? How do the feds catch people with this kind of serious stuff on them? Schedule 1. And nobody does time. And Diddy didn't get charged for it? None of it. Between the firearms and the pharmaceuticals, he could have got 40 years. He could have done it concurrently and still would have had to do minimum 20. Didn't charge him with it. Why not? I truly do believe the original prosecutor, Damian Williams, would have loved to have prosecuted that case to the fullest extent of the law with everything. But instead, they put in Maureen Comey, whose father has a questionable background. Very questionable.
Boy, they're gonna dissect this case. Diddy's coming home, so he'll be able to speak on all this if he
Coming
chooses to.
home. Coming home. Okay. Coming home when?
Yeah. I give him a couple of summers. He's home. I mean,
I mean, that's fine. He can come home. I mean, it's just the thing is there's all these other things that he hasn't been prosecuted for with the statute of limitations. It's gonna be at least a decade. I mean, they can still charge him. Why is nobody demanding that he be charged?
right. What is it about just the lawsuits? Because the Little Rod situation, I'm like, there's a bunch of you talking about shootings and with your son, and you're literally admitting to crimes, and now we're just talking about lawsuits. Like, what?
Well,
Where's the
whatever happened to the Little Rod lawsuit?
right? Right. What?
Because Tyrone Blackburn is now giving up all of his cases, and I don't think anybody else wants to take Little Rod's case. You haven't noticed all of his very serious cases where there was real evidence against him? All of the lawyers turned out to be inept in some way, and now all those cases are just being dropped. Whatever happened to Anna Cain's case? It went into discovery last fall, and it's still there. Anna Cain, the little white girl who was married to Vander Cain, the alleged abusive NHL player, the one who Diddy had allegedly brought. She was living in Canada, made it to Detroit. She was put in a plane as she testified to New Jersey and then driven into New York, taken to Daddy's house, which was his place of business, the recording studio. And then she said Diddy and 2 other gentlemen, one of them was Caucasian, ran a train on her, and she was underage. The one in the D&G shirt, she had the picture of her at Daddy's house sitting on Diddy's lap. She was inebriated and intoxicated and a minor.
Yeah, yeah, that is fact. What happened in these situations?
Why didn't she testify at the trial? She's being represented by, she has the same lawyers, or at least the same law firm as Cassie. Why didn't she testify? Because see, if she had testified, and any of her testimony could have been corroborated in any way, that would have made him guilty of the SCX transporting charge. Interesting. No, instead, Lionel B paraded some wacky little girl from Dallas who lives out there by Garland, Lamisha Fuller, brought her online with Adria English to say that she, a very African American girl, was the white girl in the D&G shirt, and did a bunch of interviews with millions of views attached to it. Even tried to include me in it. Trying to get me to validate her in ways, trying to say that I was her driver. Talking about I had a bunch of envelopes and I was giving all of the girls envelopes with money because I worked for Diddy and whoopty whoopty woo and yada yada yada. And then the next thing you know, I end up in a Diddy lawsuit as a Diddy employee. The Ashley Parham case, which by the way got dismissed last December. Oh yeah, who was the lawyer for that? Yeah, Ariel Mitchell, the same one who's been doing Diddy shakedown cases, who is about to get her license back because she just got suspended in Florida by the Florida bar for bribing a witness in a case, in a shakedown case against Trey Songz that happened at Diddy's place on Star Island. She's a screw up. Put me in that lawsuit.
That was wild to see your name there.
And
Uh,
guess what? It was all made up. Why is nobody holding any of these people accountable? Why is it that all of the suits that got the most noise out front dissipated and turned into a bunch of malarkey and bullshit? But the very real cases and the real victims, their cases have been quieted. No one knows what's happening to them. And all of the things in the very real cases would have gotten him convicted of that RICO, would have gotten him convicted of the S transporting charges. It would have gotten him convicted on all four things. And none of that evidence, none of it made it to his trial. Does it not sound like somebody was trying to make sure he got off? Does it not sound that way?
I mean, come on.
Or maybe it's just time for us to stop avoiding the elephant in the room and call it like it is. That case, the investigation started at the end of 2023, but the raid, it was all about the raid, baby. All about the raid, all about the raid.
Yeah, no, the raid actually
Everyone
showed
came out.
us. Yeah, if we go back to the details of the raid, I mean, hell, it was all there. But again, the prosecution didn't do their overall due diligence. They maybe were aiming too high.
Aiming too high. How can you say aiming too high? They weren't aiming at all.
They were looking for the RICO.
No, they
They were
weren't.
looking.
They weren't looking for the RICO. If they were looking for the RICO, they would have put Little Rod on the stand. That would have gave him the RICO. They would have put Eddie Cain on the stand. If they wanted the S trafficking charges to go through, they would have actually put the evidence out there. If they wanted it to go through, they would have charged for the guns and for the pharmaceuticals. They would have done it. They didn't do it.
Yeah,
Want to know why? Because it wasn't about any of that. I got another theory. You curious?
Shoot.
It's not about putting Diddy in jail for years. It was about taking away all of his power. Everything that I said about those tapes is real. Everything that I said about all of the stuff that was on those tapes is real. Think about the amount of blackmail power Diddy had. And now that people are looking into all of his ties, for crying out loud, they're talking about there might be some tapes of him with people from the royal family. Matter of fact, the amount of blackmail evidence that he has sounds like it's about as extensive as Jeffrey Epstein. His son came out. All these people in the Epstein files and they walking around and my dad's in jail. And stupid ass Curtis Jackson gonna come out and say that's because your dad had his own files just like Epstein.
I mean, was he wrong?
Diddy is the Black Jeffrey Epstein, without a doubt. Somebody that I talk to that has become a confidant in my life, he likes to call him Blackstein. That's what he calls Diddy. He calls him Blackstein.
Man, God damn it. It- Do you feel there was, of course, Diddy did
I
not
want you
get.
to think about this. I want you to think about this. Without all of his little special files and without all of his videotapes and without all of his blackmail stuff that he was using to keep people in line, is Diddy going to be that powerful when he gets out? They might as well have cut his balls off.
I mean, Donald Trump is president.
They might as well have cut his balls off. And guess what? Guess who is in control of all of those files? Epstein and Diddy's, the federal government. They have it all. They don't need him anymore. The raid wasn't about getting ready to prepare to take him down. They wanted to take the files. Why do you think the election was as heated as it was? Because whoever won the election got control of all the files.
Yeah, the Hollywood elite.
That big,
Um,
beautiful bill went through real easy. And it wasn't just Democrats opposing it, it was Republicans too. Everybody got on board real fast for a bill that nobody wanted. For crying out loud. Even the mayor of New York, Eric, what's he? He's a new, he's got a new passport. I believe to Albania or some shit. He got, chin checked about a few things. And all of a sudden, everything that he was refusing to do, he just decided to do and got himself a new passport at, at the same time. Isn't that amazing? Like nobody's paying attention.
yeah, I mean, damn. These
Notice they got Diddy set to be in jail throughout this whole administration. All he comes out when this administration is about to come to a close. The simple fact that it was Mike Tyson that was the one running notes back and forth from the jail to the White House trying to get Diddy pardoned. Like a lot of people aren't paying attention to a lot of things.
no, without question. Again, like you said, there was terabytes upon terabytes of files.
And none of that made it into the trial. Meanwhile, he did not call not one character witness to testify on his behalf. Why not? Everybody got all these wonderful things to say about him now. Usher talking, even Stevie J. Stevie is back out on the streets talking about how that's his friend, and he don't know this man that they talk about, and the only reason he in jail is because Stevie, Stevie said that Diddy stood up to the man about his liquor and the man put him in the jail. No. All of you people that wrote letters. No. Why didn't y'all show up to court? If y'all believed he was such a good guy, why didn't you testify on his behalf? Oh, that's right. You go to jail for perjury. There's no way y'all could have told the truth on the stand. Because all it would have taken is for one lawyer to decide to go rogue and ask you a real question. Either you would have had to have been facing perjury charges, or, I don't know, guaranteeing Diddy's conviction. Like Stevie is the last person that should be talking. Because most of the dirt that Diddy was doing, he was doing it with him. Of course. Didn't y'all notice everybody got quiet? Oh, I don't know. I was never at the party. Oh, they wasn't those kind of parties. Even fucking goofy ass Lizzo. You're acting like that man. Every party he threw, and he did stuff for the children.
Mm.
How's all that pick me shit working out for you now, Lizzo? Fat and unattractive. That's what they had to say. So,
Kevin Hart was at the parties.
yeah,
Uh,
Kevin Hart was at the parties. He actually hosted a few.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat Williams said he was there, didn't go in, but he sat in the parking lot.
Yeah, where the shuttles were. That's what Cat Williams said. I'm not even gonna get into it because there's enough that Cat's going on. Like he's got his own lawsuit now. His bodyguard is suing him while he's, facing trial for taking out that comedian slash bouncer that was working for him. There's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot.
Okay, well,
You wanna
let's
know what
keep.
was really sad? A PDF ring just got busted up. Guess what they call themselves recently? They call themselves the Diddy Disciples.
Damn, the Diddy disciples is crazy.
It is. It's crazy work.
Oh man.
Crazy work.
Um. Okay. We're gonna jump around a little bit here, but we got to get your take, Jag, on the Michael movie came out,
Yeah.
and as you know, Janet wanted no parts of it. Um. But this is a biopic, and as of right now, it's the highest grossing biopic, beating
Ever.
out Bohemian Rhapsody, beating out
Yep.
all other biopics.
And it should.
Um, did you expect that from a Michael movie with Jafar Jackson starring as Michael?
Absolutely. I expect that about a Michael Jackson biopic, period. No matter who was playing it. The simple fact that it was his nephew just added to the hype. The simple fact that the Jackson family, for the most part, was behind it and people got to see that dynasty come back together again and, revive and all of that. Like it was like I've never seen this many clips about the Jackson family ever on social media.
Right, back in the algorithm for real. Back in the algorithm.
Never. Never. And it's amazing because like a lot of times when you would see like old Jackson 5 stuff, it would just like be like hardcore fans and some people who, keep up with the archives of old Motown and things of that nature. But you never saw the stuff like go viral, viral, viral like that. So it's pretty awesome to see, and remembering what Latoya looked like before, she let a plastic surgeon get to her and just what they all look like, just watching the evolution of that family.
All right,
And people keep forgetting like Janet's entire life has been lived on stage, her entire life. She's been
correct.
performing since she was knee high, so I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. I think everybody has a bunch of things to say about it. But yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, Michael Jackson touched the world.
yeah. What were your thoughts on the movie? Meaning, as you went in, did it surpass your expectations? Did you expect more? What was it for you as far as going into it and what you got out of it?
I tried to have no expectations about it at all. I went to go see it because we did a reaction. We did a reaction to it on the channel, and you know, it was wonderful. It was wonderful to relive those moments. I think there was a lot of stuff that was altered. I think it was fixed. I think there was some reality that wasn't so real. I can understand why some of the people who weren't included in it or who asked to be excluded from it, because it wasn't even that Janet wasn't in the film. She did not want to be in the film. She did not want to be a part of that film. You didn't even see Rebe a part of the film. The only sister that you saw included was Latoya. You know, it's interesting. And even the way Joe Jackson was depicted, there was some interesting stuff there with that, or the
How,
fact that, huh?
how do you feel Coleman Domingo did portraying him?
I
I said they actually got him looking like Joe Jackson. I mean,
kinda,
I
kind,
mean, the eyebrows were there.
kinda, yeah, they did a good job pulling it together, but Joe wasn't that dark, and Joe's face was more squared out. He had that, you know, really, really, really broad. Um, I mean, but I think he did the mannerisms pretty well. Like seeing him and Dion Cole playing, nobody even talks about him anymore. Um, the promoter, oh goodness, only in America.
On
Don Cain.
yeah,
Don Cain. Only in America.
yeah, that was actually pretty good. I actually forgot their history
The
until they put it.
Al Sharpton of the entertainment world. Yeah, just that whole situation. Like, I don't even think people really like. There were so many things that just kind of got slighted over, and I think that's why some people got upset. Some people got pissed off. Even not giving. I believe it was Bobby Taylor who actually discovered the Jacksons, and not you know Diana Ross or even Gladys Knight.
That was
There
good to see.
was, huh?
That was good to see as far as who discovered them. You know, when you look at like who
They
was
didn't have Bobby Taylor in the movie. They didn't acknowledge him.
wait, who was the young lady that was that Joe?
Suzanne DePass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Suzanne DePass. She's interesting. She was the one who ended up taking the Jacksons to Barry Gordy and like, yo, you gotta sign them, you gotta sign them, you gotta sign them. But movies, they change things all the time. We see that happen in biopics. I think what I love the most about this film is that it reminded people how much work Michael Jackson put into being Michael Jackson, and how inclusive he was with all of the artists that he worked with around him. Matter of fact, just even the honesty of his relationship with his family, it could have been a little bit more real, but you got the gist of it. Like, I think the stuff that they glossed over, I think it was glossed over well. I think did Antoine Fuqua did a wonderful job. Thought it was interesting that he casted his daughter in the Thriller video remake.
Yeah,
Also thought it was interesting that they filmed it same place, full moon, just like it was done originally.
that was dope.
Almost, almost like, yeah. But for those who understand esoteric, uh, culture and beliefs and manners, there's another side to that, a spiritual side to that. The way that whole thing was remade and redone, and
Mm.
like, there's a lot of information that I think people might want to know, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it was great to just have a moment where the world got to go to the movie theater and remember why they fell in love with Michael Jackson and remember why he was the number one artist of all time, to remember why he was the king of pop, to remember why, you know what I mean? I think we all forgot. And the media and the powers that be in the industry did a great job making people forget why we loved him.
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
Prince
it,
was mentioned only in passing when he was in the swimming pool. Should Prince
yeah,
have had more of a grace in that movie as far as seeing him during the '80s when Michael's?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you bring in Prince, then you got to bring in Madonna too. Like you got to, you know what I mean? You got to bring in all. It wasn't about '80s culture. And the truth is I don't think Prince would have wanted to be mentioned in that film a whole lot either. His career was his career. Michael's career was Michael's career. Whatever rivalry they had was whatever they had. It was two artists who grew up being everything at the same time. You got one that was ridiculously talented and had an ability to infect the world in a very special and unique and clutch ass way. And then you had another artist who was able to capture the world and feed it love and get its love in return. Like they were both dynamic. And I thought that that pool scene was it and it was perfect. I'm telling you, I think it was excellent. It was an excellent film. It just is disappointing if what you were looking for were answers to all of the questions that you had. Like if you're not trying to be nosy and you're just trying to enjoy Michael Jackson and his history and his efforts and everything that he did, like I think one of the dopest moments, I'll say it every time, the scene of him fighting to get Billie Jean onto MTV. Like that was important.
Yeah, Mike Myers. Actually, I didn't know that was Mike Myers. I was watching it. He
Yeah.
really got into a character. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty good, and that was pretty accurate as far as from the stories you hear of
Very
what
much
happened.
so. Very much so accurate. And that's pretty much the exact way it happened. And I think, with Branka being the head of his estate, I guess, still, and his attorney all of those years, and being there at the meeting. I'm sure he was, there to make sure that the details were finite uh, and locked in. That was extremely important, just extremely important. Like people keep forgetting that it was Michael Jackson that got blacks onto MTV.
Yeah, the effort he put into his music videos, he was making many movies,
He
and
made movies. He didn't make videos. He made movies. It's lightweight and low key disrespectful to call what he did videos. No, he made films. He made short motion pictures, and he's the one that made it possible for other artists to be able to justify large budgets. But the thing is he pretty much financed what he financed on his own. He had his own money. He was just incredible. Which is what makes it so disgusting that Netflix they keep doing it. Is nobody not seeing what Netflix is up to?
oh, what part?
They're releasing a documentary called Michael Jackson the
Oh
Virgin.
yeah, I
And
saw.
now they want to go through that whole freaking trial in the midst of this movie about to cross like $1 billion made worldwide in a month.
Wow, yeah, they are doing that.
Now they want to clout chase on that and make sure that everybody remembers that he went to trial for being accused of a crime that he was acquitted of. He was found
Correct,
innocent.
correct. Now, Antoine Fuqua shot more of the movie,
Yeah,
but
a lot more.
because there was a lawsuit going on about these allegations,
Mhm.
they couldn't include that, so they had to actually cut the movie at the Bad album. But there was more
Yeah,
shot. But the way box office works, they said part two was coming.
yeah,
Do you feel Netflix is trying to get ahead of the, because the part two will address the tumultuous, the turmoil that he was going through.
I think Netflix is doing exactly what everybody else in the media was doing. The second that it was announced what the release date for this film was going to be, the media has been invested in destroying Michael Jackson's legacy. For crying out loud, 2 weeks before the movie came out, the case from 1993, the detectives came back out to say, the kid fingered him and it was right and he's guilty. And the cop really, 33 years later, you want to come back and talk about it? 33 years later?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
33 years later.
like there
What,
has to be
like,
smut
like the
on there.
cop actually remembers the file? Like, are you serious? Like, you gotta ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with America? What the hell is wrong with America? Why y'all want that man to be guilty so bad for something he didn't do? Unless the reason why you're trying to destroy him still, even in his death, is because what he knew. Because you want to know what else nobody's talking about while they were busy bringing all this stuff to the fore and the movie was about to come out? There was a mention that came up in the Epstein files, which we're researching and I'm doing commentary on and creating the podcast series. And we're starting to release stuff. We're having our Patreon discussions about it. Do you know that it was mentioned in the Epstein files that Michael Jackson was targeted by that country that nobody's allowed to speak about, otherwise they get demonetized
No,
unless
really.
you're speaking favorably about them, and they'll send you $7,000 for every video you do? Yet in the
Mm.
Epstein files, it says that he was targeted by this country and they staged his assassination because he was about to expose Jeffrey Epstein for the abuse of children.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's in the files. Just like they talked about how Jay-Z was a business model that they appreciated for keeping the niggas in line.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That was in the Epstein files as well. Nobody wants to talk about that though.
Yeah, boy, boy.
It's
Um,
wild because it reminded me of that story that Diddy was talking about when Michael Jackson showed up unannounced and uninvited to one of his parties, talking about he came because he wanted to see Beyonce and was snooping around the party and spent all night dancing on a dance floor.
yeah. Okay.
Checking
Okay.
out the whole scene.
Okay. Um. Well.
I mean, what better way to derail people from believing that that's what he was possibly about to expose before he passed away than making him out to be exactly what he was about to expose? That's what they do. Look at what they've tried to do to me. I've done nothing but try to warn the children, try to warn the future about what's going to happen to them engaging in this evil demonic industry. And I've had people accuse me of all kinds of things. They put together a smear campaign, 20 to 30, sometimes even 40 some odd content creators putting out all kinds of lies about me for it to be able to print over and publish onto Google, which is a worldwide app. Which, by the way, did you hear that there was a Google employee that just got busted? It's looking like he might be charged
uh,
because he got advanced knowledge about when D4VD was being arrested and started a betting pool to make money off of the intel.
oh. That doesn't sound new, but yeah, that's crazy.
It doesn't sound new because it just happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. starting a betting pool for knowledge of, you know, David, have you said,
He was a Google employee.
inside knowledge.
Yeah. How would Google know when David's being arrested?
Gemini? I don't, I don't know. The AI?
But how? The only way Google would actually have accurate knowledge of when D4VD was being arrested is if this was somehow attached to law enforcement.
AI is a powerful tool. Hard to
AI is
tell.
a powerful tool. You telling me that AI, even when Google is so dope, it can go and figure out when perps are about to be arrested inside of government data? Like, huh? And employees are able to access it?
Mm,
That's a little weird.
a little. No, and we're gonna come back to old David over there. I got to get your take because this
I'm
thing is,
sorry. I had to remind you of that. Like, it's just wild, G.
yeah, yeah, we got to come back to him. But I do got to get your take because I don't want to get, with Michael Jackson, we did have Drake has now surpassed Michael Jackson. Of course, you
That's
came
what
into
they
the.
say.
That's what they say. That's what That's what the numbers and the whatever they Billboard Hot
You
100s.
mean that's whatever they type in Google?
No. This is from Billboard. We'll stay with Billboard.
Billboard?
Hey, that's what
You
they
talking
say.
about you talking about Billboard magazine that takes, oh, okay. Like, I
Well,
find it
uh,
funny that people believe this shit that they read coming from these orchestrated networks of people who will say and do anything to make stuff. He got 10 number one records and beat Michael Jackson. Everybody beat Michael Jackson. Bad Bunny beat Michael Jackson. Kendrick Lamar beat Michael Jackson. Everybody that beat Michael Jackson.
yeah, they talking about a foot race. Michael, somebody beat Michael Jackson in a foot race. God damn. But you know, you did come in. You did speak on the Kendrick and Drake beef. You went down, even you broke down their song for song when you did in the studio.
Yeah.
With this situation now, what do you look at the overall beef now? Drake's 3 album release. Again, they say he passed Michael Jackson. What do you look at it now as far as hip hop and what this beef has done? Because he basically made 3 albums respond, or he made a whole rollout responding to Kendrick, basically.
Not really. Not really. Because the one thing he didn't respond to was the allegations about Kendrick getting the whole world to call him a PDF.
Yeah. You gotta stay away from that kind of stuff.
He didn't address that. A minor. He didn't address that. That man accused you of being the worst thing of the worst thing.
He might have hit it in a subliminal. I don't know. He might have hit it something.
No, no, because if he had of, they would have all been talking about it by now. They talked about every other thing he talked about. Why didn't he write a song called Prove It? Because that's what I would have done.
Make them prove it. Yeah, that would have been a hard song.
Prove it. Made a hell of a hook.
Damn.
Prove it. Because if somebody gets rich and gets the whole world to call me a child predator, and it ain't true, I'm gonna need you to prove it, dog. I'm gonna need you to find the victim. I'm gonna need to hear the testimony. I'm gonna need some corroborating evidence. I need you to prove it because the truth is, you shouldn't have been suing UMG. You should have been suing Kendrick. He the one that said it. Defamation, slander. I've had people try to sue me for less. You got a song to answer to everything except for that.
Oh man.
Why not? You ain't
Hey,
talk about them what they said you did with little Millie Bobby Brown. Nothing. You ain't had nothing to say about what they said you was doing with Rihanna's panties allegedly. You ain't saying nothing. What you saying?
Okay,
I'm,
okay. He
I'm not
protested.
the, I'm not invested. I was done when I seen the Michael Jackson glove doing the Illuminati symbol, like the white power symbol. Like I was done. I didn't even just looking at the cover made me not want to listen. Like don't cloud chase this moment, especially considering what they say about Michael Jackson, and the very thing that had you out here looking crazy was you being accused of being a PDFer. Did nobody not look
Pretty
at that?
sure. Pretty sure.
I'm just did nobody not look at that? They ran around trying to ruin Michael Jackson's whole life, whole career, whole everything. 30 some odd years later, they still talking about stuff that has already been debunked and proven to be lies and shakedown from duplicitous people that were supposed to be fans that he was kind to once upon a time. And you decide you want to use his glove on your comeback after being called a PDF worldwide.
Boy.
Hey,
Boy.
Drake, I hear you like I'm young. A minor
Hey.
for a year and a half. And you ain't asked nobody to prove it?
Yeah. And before we slide off of Drake, he
Good,
gave
you
up
know,
on.
congratulations on your accolades and on your achievement and so-called beating a dead man. Congratulations.
Yeah. He stayed away from the Grammys. It made me want to ask you as we have this conversation, like, are the Grammys and the accolades of the Grammys still important
I
for
don't think
artists?
so. I don't think they're important at all. I don't think any of these award shows are important. I don't think any of the stuff that they doing in the industry is important. I don't even think the industry is important. I don't think any of the artists that are representing the industry is important. I think they all whack, played out like a fucking like Michael Jackson's Jerry curl and ready to die. Like that's what I think. But don't I mean, you might not want my opinion. It might be biased.
Nah, I hear you. Nah, I definitely want it. We live in a new era. The streaming era. So I'm like,
We live in the streaming era, which is, new slavery. You put all of that hard work out and you don't get paid. Isn't it interesting? I'm gonna tell you something right now. It is time for us to get real, and it is time for us to figure out what is going on. I got people that sit on my channel mad because I did commentary because I read a full breakdown of what the real skinny is on Rihanna's so-called $1 billion Fenty brand, all smoke and mirrors.
whoa, whoa, yeah? You got to give us some. What'd you find out?
All smoke and mirrors. I mean, the report is out there. Anybody who want to look, but it was all based on projections. The company never actually earned a billion anything. I mean, the projections that it has and all of that stuff, it's fine, but it's not even her shit. It's Louis Vuitton using her name to sell shit. She's a glorified spokesperson,
Okay, damn.
which is why when she stepped down from being CEO, they hired her. The CEO that came in after that is a competitor. Was a competitor. They brought in somebody from Victoria's Secrets. It's a number one competitor. It's
Yeah.
just all bullshit. The Forbes rating, all of it is just projections. And they do all of this because they want people to believe that this shit is real. Oh my God, Rihanna's a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire too. If Rihanna was really a billionaire, I don't think she'd be getting knocked up by ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, that same thing happened with Kanye West, though. He was a billionaire today. They shut it down, and they took
He
within a
did a
day,
bill.
within a tweet, they took it all away.
Like I said, he went from what 4 billion to 400 million. Like, is
Uh,
nobody not paying attention to all of this shit is fake? None of it's real. None of these people are what they say they are. None of these people have what they say they have. Most of this shit is for show. One of the only artists that actually, like the few artists that actually had what they said they had, was people like Michael Jackson, was people like Prince. You saw what Prince was trying to do. He was trying to teach people how to redefine themselves and how to keep your money, how to keep your name. Don't give yourself away to the corporations. Don't be a slave. You see, they got rid of him. Like, ain't y'all paying attention? Like, why does nobody? Everyone thinks I'm bullshitting. It's true, and you watch it happen. Oh, she's just jealous. She just met. Like, somebody literally came in one of my comments the other day, and I've seen this comment before, and it's so funny, and said, "You just mad because the Illuminati didn't want to use you." And I said, "That's not true. They use everybody, even you." They're using you right now. They're using me right now. We all play a part in this system. The consumers, the naysayers, the promoters, the glazers, the opposers. Everybody plays a part in this system. It's the system. I don't want to be used. Like when I saw that, I just thought to myself, who wants to be used? It's one thing to be utilized, it's another thing to be used. Like that's how low the self-esteem is in this country that people don't even realize when they talking stupid
yo,
and think they saying something. But
talk to him. Now, no, coming off Michael Jackson, I got to get your take because you were always very opinionated on Usher, also in Chris Brown. These two are now finally putting together a tour. They call it the R&B tour. With using their last names.
if they heard the way he was singing at that roast, they better ask for half a refund.
Oh damn.
If that's what you got to look forward to, I'd ask for $150 back. Let's just be honest. Usher ain't dancing like that for real no more. This nigga be on stage with roller skates. Chris out there killing it. It's enjoy. That's all I can say. Enjoy. Congratulations to Chris Brown once again on your honorary doctorate degree.
Yes, he did receive.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And guess what? Don't nobody talk about that. They just want to talk about all of the crazy stuff. Ever since they've announced this concert, he's got nothing but bad press. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, dropped a new album, bad press. I'm like, why aren't they talking about the doctorate? I mean,
They don't know because they don't talk about good stuff when it talks to Chris Brown. That just like Michael Jackson, they are committed to making sure he looks like shit for all eternity.
oh,
Meanwhile, nobody's eating Usher's ass up for running around telling everybody, listen to me, it doesn't matter what you saw Diddy do on that tape. His contributions to the industry far outweigh a few bad deeds.
yeah, I saw that one response he gave. Geez.
He said that.
Yes, he
He
did.
said
Yes, he did.
that.
Um,
And ain't
it
nobody complaining. Ain't nobody complaining. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I find it so funny. Like the whole like, oh my god, yeah. It's cringe right now in the world. It's just hella cringe.
should Chris Brown Usher do a Michael Jackson tribute during their concert? Like, would that be expected or respected?
I mean, I think it could be cool. I wouldn't be offended if Chris did it. I think it would probably like I don't know, in my opinion, considering that I believe that Diddy played a part in, helping roll out the Michael Jackson demise, I think it would be kind of rude for Usher to do it.
Oh boy, oh, wait a minute. Okay.
I mean, that's
that.
just what I believe. I'm not saying that it's true. You know, they had the same bodyguard.
Mhm.
Corey Gamble was involved, kind of like with the whole situation with Kim Porter, and it's just, I mean, it's
Okay.
just what I believe. I just like I believe, what everyone feels about, Mr. Carter and the demise of Prince.
Okay. All right. All right.
I don't understand. I'm not saying it's true. All of these things are alleged and it's speculation. It comes from people that are doing research into certain things. I'm just saying I feel inclined to believe that these assholes have, destroyed some of the greatest parts of our history so that they could rewrite reality and fuck up the future. Look at music.
Soul Child.
Look at what music is.
Oh, music. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Look at what this shit is.
who knows?
It's disappointing. There's no standards anymore. I'm sitting there
Yeah.
watching Kevin Hart making jokes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was at the Diddy party, and so was you, and so was you, and the Roots, you were there too. No, they weren't.
Damn.
No, they weren't. But real cute at trying to make it look like it was no big deal.
Damn.
But you was the
That's
one
right.
that hollered out, "Why was there a dildo on the bed?" I just wanted you to know. And from what everyone is saying, it was probably about as tall as you. Maybe
Mm.
they could have lynched you from that, from the dildo.
Yeah. Picture that.
No, definitely. And most times, people jump in the comments. They're like, "Hey, how do I find this? How do I find it?" We're gonna put the beginning of the video, the links to all your information before this even starts.
Oh,
At the
thank you.
end, in the description, we're gonna put it everywhere. Where if y'all have to ask the question, how do we find the links to everything, and even the shirt you have on? Shout out to the shirt, the Jaguar Wright. I can't even see the bottom of it, but shout out
The
that shirt.
Jaguar Wright show.
Come on, beautiful man, beautiful. To get merch and everything, we're gonna put links to everything. We want to make sure that they can get in
Thank
touch
you.
with you and be a
Thank you.
part of whatever movement you have. So we're
Thank
gonna get
you.
on that now. But we appreciate so much your time and you taking time out to just speak on not
Oh,
only the
and by the
Rosebud.
way, before you finish, for everyone who's donated to my legal defense fund on GoFundMe, I want to thank you. We're not, we haven't hit our goal yet. Please keep on because I'm telling you, like, I got to get, I, there's an opportunity that I got offered and I got to get all of this stuff handled because it's going to require me to be able to leave the country. And I can't leave the country with things unsettled. We got to get a lot of this stuff handled. I want to be able to go out, back out into the world, around the world, and do the work without having to worry about all of this foolishness. And there's a couple of people that we're looking into making sure that we have the right legal representation because it's time to start suing people now. It's just time.
No, without question, we want everyone to who does again give anything to the GoFundMe. We're going to put that at the beginning of this interview, put it in the description. We will shout each and every one of you out on this platform. We will post your name in the comments, if you want to be posted, because that is the movement that we are pushing. And we definitely want, not only for, if y'all want to see Jaguar back on the couch, back on the blue couch, let's try to get some stuff going, because we definitely want to see you be able to move around
It would
without
be
all this
nice to
stuff.
come back into the studio again. It's been a long time.
Well, we shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. With that being said, Jag, as you already know, thank you again. We appreciate you and your time. And we got to say it, Jaguar Wright, you are, and you is, and you always will be a real life street star. Let's go.
Bye.
Real life.